To this story now, the 24.9 million Nulane investment fraud and corruption case resumes in the High Court in Bloemfontein this morning. It's one of the key state capture-related cases involving the Gupta brothers. The money paid to Nulane was intended for a feasibility study into the province's flagship Mohama Mobuheng project. The now infamous Estina dairy farm is one of the programs of the project. eNCA reporter Moloko Moloto joins us with the very latest. Good morning, Moloko. Today, the matter officially commences. What are we expecting in court?
Good morning, Mfundo. Indeed, this is a matter that involves the associate of the Gupta brothers, but also the senior officials who were accounting officers within the Department of Land Reform and Agriculture here in the Free State. I'm talking here about the former HOD, Mr. Peter Tabete, as well as Dimakazo Morosi, but also the CFO, Sipati Sylvia Dlamini. You'd recall that they were arrested with regard to a contract that was awarded to a Gupta-related company, and in terms of the indictment, they were paid about 24 million rand, and this allegedly in violation of the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act. So they are also facing charges relating to fraud. Essentially what happened was that this company called Nulane was awarded a contract without following the tender bids, and it had to do a feasibility study. Instead, it actually paid consultancy Deloitte to do that on its behalf, and paid that particular company 1.5 million rand while it pocketed the rest. But I would like us to join in this conversation with the ID's Sindisiwe Sebuka, who is just going to give us an indication as to how this particular case is going. You'd recall there.
So what has transpired, you'd know that is an old charge sheet or indictment. There has been a revised one that was issued in 2022. You'd also know that the NPA as well as the Department of Justice have made many utterances basically talking about what exactly is transpiring. You'd also know that we now know where 6 of them are. Red notices were actually issued against 6 of the accused, 2 of which are the Gupta brothers and 4 of which are Indian nationals who are linked to this matter. But currently that is as far as we can say. We have also started with the extradition process. The papers are with them. It's now for those foreign jurisdictions to make their decisions in that matter.
Cindy, just last one for me then quickly. There are 5 of the 6 accused behind us. Of course, there are 8 altogether, including those 2 companies, Nulane or Nulane, and the other company, which you will help me with in terms of the name, is it Island Site? Yes, it is. But I believe that one of the people behind us may be turning state witness. Is that true?
We cannot get into that. We want the court to be able to proceed, and we want everything that happens in court to be honored, so we do not want to be having a sideshow outside of court.
In terms of the number of witnesses, have you determined how many will be testifying here during this trial?
All of that is actually in the indictment that has been circulated. Not a lot has changed in that particular regard. You would also know that the indictment is actually a public document currently, so I think we'll now let the process to unfold.
I just want to take you back to the issue of the Gupta brothers who are currently out of the country. Well, how far is the process of bringing them back into the country?
Like I said a few minutes ago, we have done all that we can as a country. We have actually sent our papers to them. We have actually made all the representations that are required. It's now for that foreign jurisdiction to decide what happens forth.
We do understand from our colleagues working at News 34 that there were some additional papers that needed to be submitted by South Africa to the UAE with regard to the extradition of those Gupta brothers. Was the ID involved in that?
So once again, we do not want to get into a situation where we're talking past one another in relation to what happens there. We've done all that we can, and it's now for that particular jurisdiction to take control.
In terms of the money that was paid allegedly unlawfully, this 24 million rand, has there been an effort to recover the money?
So you would know that linked to this case is a restraint order that was issued a few days after the initial arrest of the accused. It's an unlimited restraint order. A number of assets actually have already been restrained and under curatorship, so that process is also underway.
Thank you so much. Sindisiwe Sebuka, she speaks on behalf of the NPA's ID. Of course, we are expecting the court to commence any time from now. We understand that some of the accused are actually objecting to the media's presence here, and we have seen the lawyers representing those two trying to engage with the presiding officers. Perhaps they will indicate as to whether we shall continue to be present in this courtroom or not before even the commencement of the court. Mfundo?
To broadcast this because it is one of those key state capture related cases where everybody would like to see some sort of outcome and see what happens in court insofar as positive convictions are concerned when it comes to that whole exercise where we saw with the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. So it would be important to observe that indeed there is something that gets or reaches finality. But Moloko, we'll leave it there for now and catch up with you as soon as proceedings do get underway. That's eNCA reporter Moloko Moloto in court for us. More news on the other side of this break. Do stay with us.